Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. MissNatasha here. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to start off this month's Create Don't Hate episode by saying I'm a mother of two and an auntie to many. I'm a mental wellness creative and disability advocate, speaker, and I don't know how to say this, the curator of the Create Don't Hate Show. I don't know. I have a lovely guest here. I just wanted to, before I ask her to introduce herself, say three words that I thought of when I first met her and her lovely family. One was open. One was full of life. Another one was loving. So I'll give you the floor if you could introduce yourself.
Thank you. That's so sweet. My name is Leequette Santiago dash Hines. I go by Lala. I'm an American Canadian painter. I'm an art instructor, a UGC creator, and a self-appointed cool mom. I'm from Miami, Florida. I live in Ontario, and my art is drawn upon my Southern roots, spirituality, and family dynamics through a mixture of mediums. I like to storytell a lot when it comes to my craft, and I'm really interested in how we navigate our identity in our everyday lives. Most of my work is inspired by motherhood, and it's putting together like intergenerational relationships and me also reclaiming my identity during that. But yeah, I've gotten a few things. I've won a couple of awards. I won the Emerging Artist Award and the Robert McLaughlin Award, and worked with Pampers, QuickBooks. Well, I've created for my friend who I was featured on QuickBooks, but I created for Pampers, the city of Oshawa, Pickering, the municipality of Durham Region, and yeah, it's a good time. I'm having a really good time. I want to do more art projects and do more things like this.
Oh, when I think of you and your art, I think of textured and colorful.
Yes, very colorful,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
textured.
So I'm gonna just get right into it. Um,
Mhm.
how did you learn how to be a woman?
Yeah. So mainly through my mom. I watched her do everything when we were younger. My mom was going to school, so we like she'd tell us to read something and quiz her on her school books and stuff like that. So I think watching her be the best version of herself and like be the best kind of provider was just like motivating to me. And then I had my aunts around me, and they one of them's a braider and the other one's just kind of like a passive woman. So I think I took notes from all these influences in like a little bit of YouTube and created myself.
Yay. I think I did not say what we're talking about this month, but I'll start it. I'll say it again. This month I'm talking about mental wellness and women. So most of my questions I've geared towards what I saw about what women think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one is how does what does being a woman mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, to me, women are strong, empowering each other, but also like comes with a delicateness to us where it's like we are strong, but we don't have to be, or we are empowered and we have a village that helps us do that as well. It means just kind of circulating and regulating everything while also being regulated.
Mm,
I think being a woman means, curating the people around you so that you can be the best you.
yes, that's so wonderful. Excuse me, do you relate well towards other women? Why or why not?
I think I do. I definitely feel like I do. I have a strong connection to women. A lot of my art is based on motherhood and womanhood and just reaching that, that point in your life where you are a self-proclaimed woman. You are claiming this identity. I think a lot of people relate to that. A lot of women especially relate to that. And it makes me happy that they can see themselves in me and I can see myself in them. So it's fun. I have a lot of female friends, but I also have a lot of male friends. So I think that like combination is always interesting, but I definitely lean towards the lady side a bit more.
Yay.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. My sister calling.
Oh, and there you go. That even shows what did I say again? How do you relate towards women? It
Yeah.
also shows that look, you have people reaching out.
Yeah, I
And that's like
mean,
great, you know?
that is great. Honestly, my sister calls every day, and like I record and stuff like that. So, like, I'll be on my watch and she'll be calling, and I'll be on my phone, and I'm like, okay, I need to do 2 things right now. She'll call back in like 15 minutes. She's a
And
stalker.
that just goes into the next question. What does female friendship mean to you?
A lot. Oh, for sure. Honestly, I have my sister and my closest, I have two sisters and my closest friends. And though we say we are going to meet up, we eventually do meet up. And when we have that meetup, it's always like a kiki. It's always
Hmm.
like we just pick up where we left off at. And there's no time, in between. It's just literally a pickup of where we left off. And I think like that's the most like I don't know any other relationships besides that. I don't really want to. So it is empowering and it's definitely very helpful to see their insights on what they're doing and what they're going through and our similarities at the same time. I
Sharpening
love it.
each other.
Exactly, exactly. We're sharpening each other and
Yeah.
I think like when don't have that with you, I mean, I couldn't understand why. I would start being nicer or something. Like
Mhm.
if you didn't have that, like you are going to remain dull and you're gonna
Mhm.
have to pick it up a bit. Do
Hey,
something.
I love that. Okay. What did you harvest in the last year that isn't associated with money?
Oh, harvest. Like volunteering and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I guess you know the metaphor when people say you reaped, they can see what you've reaped by the things that you like your
Yeah.
accomplishments, but what accomplishments can you, harvest or have you harvested that don't require money? I will read this just so that maybe you could get a little bit of context and then I'll read the question again. So what I wrote here was, did you know that most, if not all, in my 2 cents, that the most important nutrient rich harvest doesn't come from money. The most greatest assets were given to us for free to plant and to harvest. So the question is again, what did you harvest in the last year that isn't associated with money?
I think like for me, I don't know if this is an appropriate answer because I think it's time. Like I put a lot of effort and stuff into my kids and stuff like that. And it is not for money, obviously. It's for the joy and their time. It just kind of seeing them happy. And, it's not like living for your children, but at the
Mhm.
same time, when you see that, like my children, two of them have autism, but when you see them like we're going to these classes and then we're getting a lot of stuff done and then we're going for these walks and you start to see them change and you start
Oh,
to see them grow inside of themselves and you're just like you're seeing things that like you know you didn't think were going to happen,
Mhm.
you know, even quickly or at all. You just thought, you know, I'm trying, you know, to do things that they don't remain stagnant and stuff like that. And they aren't. They're like
Mhm.
flourishing. And I think that putting time into them, putting effort into them, like obviously I do that within myself or whatnot, but when I do it with them, it seems like I can just, you know, when you do it with yourself, you can't see the difference until like years later. With them, I'm seeing it like monthly, I'm seeing it weekly, I'm seeing it in a daily change. So I think that putting my time and effort, giving them my all is kind of like the one of my favorite things to do.
Mhm.
Obviously, they're my kids, but I think any child, like seeing any child grow, is probably one of my favorite things.
Mhm. You know, it
Yeah.
just shows that you're loving, it shows also because you're loving them for them.
Exactly. Oh,
It's
absolutely.
forged, right? Yeah, right? They're
Like
not being suffocated, you know? They're not being suppressed,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, no, and you
Mhm.
can't like push them to be
Mhm.
anything but themselves.
Mhm.
Like there is no other person I need to see within them. Like I just need to see them do their thing. My son was dancing to Deadpool this morning. I was like, get it, baby. Go ahead, baby. It's
Mhm.
Wolverines. It said that NSYNC song.
Mhm.
Cackling. I'm like, look at him
Like what?
go.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing. Like, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen him like dance, but when he was getting it, I was like, oh my gosh.
One of the five freedoms is in the home is you're free to be yourself
Yeah, absolutely.
and just thrive. And you're clearly doing that, or else you wouldn't be seeing growth.
Yeah, I think that's like me and my husband's like principles in the house is like you when they come home they're safe at home. Like when we come home this is a safe space. It's just something that we didn't necessarily grow up with. So
Mm-hmm.
like when we like not super like it was safe at home, but you know like freedom of expression and stuff like that, it
Mm-hmm.
was like you need to we were drilled a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
For them it's like I know that they don't need to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just know that we need to nourish whatever they got right now.
Ah, thank you for that. Like, I try not to
Absolutely.
coax the answers, so
Oh,
that's why I did. I have
I don't
I
feel
have
coaxed.
something that's pre-written too.
Pre-written. That's
You
perfect.
know?
Yeah.
But it's like they call that scripting. We do a lot of scripting, so then we're not just doing blank, sitting there blank, you know? It
Yeah,
seems like
absolutely.
we put some thought into
Yeah,
it.
and it's an example. I love it because it definitely made me think. Because I'm like, what do I, you know, what do I like doing? And I like doing a lot. I mean, I do
Mhm.
like money, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day,
Mhm.
we all know that like that is temporary. That comes and
Mhm.
goes, and like so for me, God will provide.
Mhm.
So, like, just as much as we need money, I know that there are finer things. There
Mhm.
are finer things.
Even the ones with tremendous amounts of money are still
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit,
They're missing
you
those.
know?
Some are missing those finer things. Not
Mhm.
all, but some are missing those finer things. And I think I hit the jackpot when it comes to
Mhm.
certain things.
All right, the next question. What does collaboration over competition mean to you?
Oh, yeah. I love to collaborate. So that's kind of my thing where it's like I love meeting with people or like um you know, giving some of my time to
Mhm.
our community. Because I think, like, at first, I was a little hesitant because I'm usually a in-house person, especially after
Mhm.
COVID, I was very hesitant.
Mhm.
So when I started collaborating, like with First Fridays or just, you know, going out of my way to go places, even going to that Durham, that Pickering, I
Mhm.
can't remember what it was called, but
Yeah.
going there or like participating or just being at an Indigenous festival and seeing things or like being in our own element and being involved, it's something interesting. Even art block, I thought it was really cool that I mean I had the opportunity to go there to be involved, but I kind of just wanted to stand by and kind of look at all my friends, you know, give my friends their flowers and you
Mhm.
know those times that I think it builds a super strong bond with them. And it's like someone is here for you and someone is here to ready to collaborate with you whenever you're ready, and someone is just like in your corner. Because I think just as much as people are in my corner, I need to be in theirs. For
Mm-hmm.
sure. And competition, I mean, I think competition just ruins that. Competition is like, I mean, there's healthy competition, don't get me wrong. There's great challenges, but like if it gets a little bit, if it's dominating, I think you need to take a step back and just kind of see like, is this true competition, or are you like absolutely terminating the situation? Are you losing friendships over this competition? I absolutely not want to do that.
I'll go into the next one then because it's kind of similar. And thank you for that because we need to hear more persons of color, especially Black women, speaking about collaboration over competition.
Yeah,
What that
absolutely.
looks like, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think yeah, I think I've been in a situation where it has been like people are competing against me, and I'm literally unaware.
Yeah.
Like so I'm not seeing as that, and I look like this like teddy bear kind of, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like I've turned my competition into friendships. I've turned
Mm-hmm.
them into, I don't see it as a like you need to compete against anyone really. You need to compete against yourself. Like you need to be the best version of yourself, and if you're doing that, that's, I'm always trying to be better than I was yesterday. So I think like that's a you thing. That's that's not you against the world. That's just kind of a you you thing.
Thank you for that. Goodness. The next one is,
Am I saying your scripts?
yeah, no, no, you're just like, it's actually refreshing again because, again, if you're hearing and seeing only competition, you may forget that there are some people that are not about that life,
Absolutely, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When it comes to other women of color, how do you demonstrate camaraderie?
I mean, besides hanging out or showing up to their events or,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of coming out, I think one way is to support.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I have bought books. I have
Mm-hmm.
bought like little knickknacks. I have purchased, you know what I mean? Like not as buying their friendship or anything like that, but just
Mm-hmm.
showing a general support. Like I said, I like being in people's corner just as much as they're into my corner. But yeah, I like to, if we're not spending time together, I like for them to know that I'm thinking of them as well. Like even when we met you and I was like, oh, I like this. You know what I mean? I was like this. I think like a couple weeks passed by and I was like, didn't I say I was gonna buy that book? And I went and I got it and I was like, okay, this is perfect. There's also one lady that I really, really like. She had a book and it's like something about mermaids and stuff like that.
Ooh.
And I'm like, kids love that. And I'm like, such and such wrote this. Like, oh, do you remember such and such wrote this? So
Yay!
I think people be famous in my house.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I love
know.
that. And they get
Yeah.
to see themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We had two more questions. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that one for last. What are some negative traits that some women display that you cannot stand?
Oh, it's sad that one pops up right away.
Mm.
I think it's like just being unreliable. Like
Mm.
I have had some women just disappear on me. And it's kind of annoying because I can't like differentiate who's gonna do it, like what's gonna, who's gonna. So I always give people the chance to show that they are that type of person. I always give them a chance to show me who you really are, and if they are the type of person that become unreliable or um just like if something's special to me and they say they're going to be there and they're not there or whatever, like just don't tell me you're going to be there.
Mm.
Like I would just rather you tell me absolute truth than to tell me a lie to try to make me feel better. I'm like I'm a very like I need that honesty. I think I need that reliability. And my husband said like for me I need a stable person. So you don't have to be stable in my life all the time. You don't have to be here like 24/7. But like when you say you're going to show up or you say you're going to do something, I do have that expectation. I do have that, like, that is the bar. And
Mm-hmm.
if you go below that bar, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where I'm just like, you know what? There's no point of like, well, I would try again for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
but if it happens a second time, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, fool me once. I live by that phrase. So fool me
Mm-hmm.
once, I'm watching out for a second
Yeah.
time. You won't get to a third.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like yeah, you have to set those boundaries because I mean, everyone can't be
Mm.
in the circle. Everyone can't be in the spot you expect them to be. Like you just have to either give them that grace because you've known them for so long or you know that they'll pull through. Or if they're just starting off, I mean, I can only give you so much grace.
Mm-hmm.
God gives you grace.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a song out, I'm not God. So, and in saying that, how do you take care of your own mental health, and what does that look like?
Definitely my mental health is through my art. I can spend hours, like absolute time painting and doing something. My kids can be with my husband and I'm zoned out completely or zoned in, I want to say, because I mean, when it comes to painting, it's just something that takes me. It's just something that's like, once I start, if I see something, if I'm doing something, like I can't see anything else. So I think that that's really my favorite way to take care of my mental health because I'm allowed to do whatever I want, relinquish any feelings that I feel. And I think it's a state of vulnerability as well because I share those items or I share those pieces and stories. So like I enjoy that. I think like having access to your feelings is something that like
Mm,
takes care of your mental health the most. You
mm,
know, a lot of people don't have access to their feelings, and I'm just finding that out.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Our feelings are markers to point you in the right direction. If
Absolutely.
we ignore it,
Absolutely.
we'll be always circling,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
docile.
surprising. It's honestly surprising because someone was telling me that, and I was like, "You think so?
Hmm.
You think so?" They're like, "Yeah, girl. Like you're
Yeah.
out here just being vulnerable and stuff." I was like, "Don't say nothing wrong."
Yeah. Your art and listening to you explain it does entraps like it brings you into the scene of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I hope to do that's what I like to do. I like to like I said, I like the stories. I like to tell a story to people, and like obviously most of the stories are true. So
right,
I mean,
right.
like I like to recreate a scene, and it to me if I can tell people what it means, then they can be there. So it's exciting.
I felt that. I did.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I I I'm like I'm just like in in awe of as women when we choose ourselves and what we were made to do, that's when life really does expand and
Absolutely.
flourish, you know?
Yeah.
And being like doing this Hate show is like one way in which I do that because
Yeah.
I am thoroughly going after goodness.
And it
No
will
one can
come.
tell me any different. You know what I mean? No
And
one
it
can
will
tell me any
come.
different, right?
It's
And
on the
because
way.
one step, two step, one step, two step. I'll show you this that I look at. I got this from a post. I can't remember, can't really see what it says, but where it's from. But this is what I look at. Um, every time I'm down or every time I'm up, I make sure I remember, hold on tight and don't let go. Stay as hard as you
Yeah.
can. Don't let go
Yeah.
because that frog could have got eaten, but it's not gonna get eaten.
The frog.
You see that? Yeah.
Absolutely. I
The
mean, so
frog
what
is
I
dead.
think the frog is gonna definitely win this battle. I mean,
Sometimes we
absolutely.
do.
You have
Sometimes we
to.
do. We
Yeah.
feel constrained. We
Sometimes you
feel
think you're,
constrained.
giving up too quickly is just something that's like, it's so easy when you have people telling you to do so. And if you surround yourself around people who are like, this is the standard, um, you know, career path. This isn't the
For
standard or whatever,
you,
but you
yeah, for
don't,
you
yeah,
maybe. They say
exactly.
for
But you
me,
don't need
yeah,
to
yeah.
think that it's the
Right,
standard. Like for me,
right.
it's the standard. You don't have to like follow the path that I'm following. You just need to be supportive of the path that I'm following. So if you surround yourself with those supportive people, you're gonna have a field day of
It'll
energy.
be
You're gonna be
amazing.
bouncing one left, next, like another idea. You're gonna be like, that's one thing I really like about creatives is that when one person has an idea, the other person is like tweaking that, turning it into themselves, making their own. Like it's a process of just like we bounce off each other, and I love being surrounded by them. Like it's one of those things where it's like if you're not surrounded by the right people, I mean, it's gonna be hard for you to maintain and like you're gonna look like the underdog all the time when the right people are gonna make you a star. Like gotta get that crew assembly
You can help others,
and
right?
help others. Exactly. And I think that's the thing too. It's like if you're helping other people, like there surely good will follow. Like surely good, like everything's not guaranteed, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean the life you're chasing, I mean, the things you're chasing after, you're going to catch it. At some point, you're catching what you're bringing and feeding into the world. So you're literally sowing what you reap in.
Yeah.
You're reaping goodness. You're reaping happiness. You're reaping joy because you're sowing it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I
Of course.
appreciate the your words. And I appreciate that you didn't choose to give up.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think I'm over giving up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think I've gone past the point where I'm just like, there's really no point in stopping now.
Yeah.
Like this is ride or die, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to share before I say my spiel?
I think I'm happy to be here. I'm not really sure because I don't I just hope that people take from this just a sense of having a community, sharing camaraderie, and like, surrounding themselves with positive people who are going to push them in the right direction and run with it. Like, I want them to be able to see this and just be like, I'm gonna do that. Don't be afraid to cut a couple of people. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable because I think I was even watching this one show where it's like this one lady, well, this one guy was saying it's the challenge. I actually love this show, and one of the guys on there, his name is Kylan, and he has autism, and he was nonverbal for a while. And right now, my children have autism, and one of my sons is like he's just kind of picking up a little bit of lingo and stuff like that. And it's so important that he even said that because I'm like, you see where this could go. You see where he could be. You see how things could change like radically or not. You know what I mean? Like I like whatever whenever you tell your story, you're giving someone some hope. You're giving someone some kind of encouragement. You're giving someone something to look forward to. And I hope that whoever receives this gets something to look forward to or gives somebody some kind of hope because a lot of people's stories have given me hope.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Ooh, and where can others find your art?
Oh, yes. So I
You
have a
gotta brag
website.
about this.
Shameless promo. I have a website. It's www.lalasantiago.com. I also have Instagram, TikTok. All those handles are Lala underscore the artist. And I'll be there. I mean, follow, like, purchase some art when I have my shop set up. I do have a piece coming out this week.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be able to have my print shop up really, really quickly. And I'm hoping to share some stuff very shortly.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm just blessed to be able to have these moments, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate your words and your time, and I
Yeah.
just like you just continue on this journey of greatness because you have nothing else, like you have nothing else to there's nothing else you could do, you know?
There's nothing to lose.
Yes. All right, so
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say what why I started Create Don't Hate Show.
Okay.
Don't Hate was born out of frustration. The frustration of individuals hating on others with differences. We wanted to start a movement of hope, courage, and love and build community and connection in the process. Create Don't Hate is a real practical way of sharing to those who have been muted and shut down because of who they are. Create Don't Hate was and always will be an anthem that I would play to get through the tough times. Thank
I'm
you.
happy.
Thank you
Thank you for
so
having me. Thank you so much.
And I hope you all had a great time. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be a part of the show, you can email natashaconnects@gmail.com. Thank you.
Bye.